Okay, so you get the boys today after school. You get them week on, week off, right?
Yeah.
How are you feeling about that? Has your feelings about it changed from when it first started to now? Like, are you getting more used to it? Are you enjoying the week on, week off, or is a week like too long?
Oh
Like, I'm
man,
not gonna judge you.
that's a tough
My kids
question.
go to their dads for 5 weeks in summer, and everybody's like, "Don't you miss it?" And of course, I miss my kids, but I also like the break. So I'm not going to judge whatever you say.
Well, yeah, it's different for you though because I mean you're the whole school year, you know.
Yeah,
Um, it's tough. You know what? Okay, it's good and it's bad. I like it. I don't like it. I mean, obviously we do week on week off because we're not together anymore, and so you know her time with her kids, my time with my kid. You know, um, oh, when okay, Monday and Tuesday are great days. Monday and Tuesday are like, hmm, you know,
yeah,
right around Wednesday is where it really starts to kind of kick in that like my relationship with my boys is now over FaceTime, you know, for the next few days.
yeah.
That part, but right around Friday is like Friday, Saturday, Sunday. It's like, okay, there's a few more days left. It's not that long. It's kind of out of my head. My youngest has, because we were talking earlier that I kind
Do
of
you have a set schedule with the FaceTime, or do you just call when you want?
call when I want. We had a
Yeah,
set schedule originally. We had 8 o'clock was our set schedule, but I think now because our boys didn't have cell phones then, but now because they have phones, it's kind of like a text whenever.
yeah. Our schedules are so, especially with Joe being back to work and having events and stuff. He just calls when he can, you know. So if it's in the middle of the day or the night, and it doesn't bother me.
Yeah, yeah.
But
So
I know
it's
that's like I do know another couple where like she had to set like a schedule because he would call and they would be in the middle of something and then he'd get pissed that it was dinner time and then so like they have to have like a set FaceTime schedule.
yeah, yeah. No, we don't have anything like that. We did, but we don't now. My youngest
Okay.
likes to go out with me at night. On the weeks that he's over there, he likes to go out with me for a couple hours when I do my little delivery thingy, which is kind of
And,
cool.
and
Like he's
she loves that.
yeah,
Good
yeah.
for
I
you.
want to. What's that?
Good for you guys.
Yeah, yeah, it's cool. He digs it. I want to get him a little red handkerchief and put it around his neck, like a trucker and his dog. You know. And instead of Jack, I want to call him Scrap. You know.
I love it. Look, you
Yeah,
look so happy. That's good. Okay, good.
yeah. So it's cool. It works out. It works out well. You know. Okay. So to answer your question,
And that's
the
cool
week
that
on,
you guys
week off.
allow the kids to kind of be like, do what they know is fun if it's not ruining your plans, even though you're on somebody else's time. Because a lot of people fight about that and it's so stupid.
I think we're kind of at the. I think it's kind of the mindset of like it's so late at night. Like it's usually around 6:30, 7 o'clock at night. That like, what is he doing anyway other than playing video games? You know. So why not?
Yeah,
Is
good.
kind of where we're at on that, you know. And even then, when he gets in the car, because it's still 2.5 hours in the car. Even then, he brings a tablet because he's gonna get bored, you know,
Yeah. All
sitting
right.
there. But yeah, it works out. So the short answer is week on, week off is good and bad. Good in that you get a break constantly. Bad in that you're used to having them for weeks. So the week that they're not there, you're like, oh, where are they? You know?
Yeah. All right. I was
Yeah,
curious. So we did camping last weekend.
yeah.
Okay. So what I've learned is that camping is not cheap the first time you go. But I'm hoping the next times will go. Okay. So the campsite was huge. So if you camp out at New Maloney's and Angels Camp, and the reason that we chose Angels Camp is because it's close to home. That way, if anything happened, I still had cell service. Somebody could come and help. I could find somebody who will come and help us, right? So I did close to home since it was our first one. We tent camped, which I hate tent camp.
Why?
Dude, I'm sleeping on the ground. And then if I am a peer, you know that. So I have to get up in the middle of the night with the bugs and make sure there's not animals to go outside and go to the bathroom. And there's ducks quacking next to us the whole night and music going the whole night from some other campground. Like shit stuff that I swore that I would never do again. Like I want a hotel. I want somebody to clean up after me. Why do people camp? So I got to pack up. I spent all this money to sleep on the ground in the dirt. Then we get there and we unload and it's windy and it's rainy, but my son is ecstatic. Okay, so we're packing up to go. I'm frustrated with the kids. They're crying on the way there. It's silence all the way there. I have to have a friend come and meet us because it's windy and it's rainy.
Did they not know where they were going when you were taking them?
I told them as soon as they came home from school, we are going camping this weekend. My son freaked out. He was so excited. And Layla was more excited than I thought she'd be too. I thought she'd be like miserable. So I told him they could bring some of their electronics. He refused. He's like, I want an electronic free weekend, right? And I still packed their Game Boys just in case. So they're crying because I feel like they're not helping me enough. Anyways, it was frustration the whole way out there. So we get out there. My friend comes and meets us because I can't get the fire started. He has to help us set up the tents because the wind is nasty. So now we're freezing and we're getting rained on. And we're all frustrated. Thank goodness my buddy came out there because I think we would have packed up and went home. We probably would have packed up and went home. So what I've learned is that I need to bring like fast burning wood, like I gotta be like a tourist when it comes to wood. Like I brought wood from home and then thought that I would just gather kindling when I was there. I am not that good of a fire maker. We've talked about this before. So I don't know why I thought I was going to go that route. So the next day I went and bought like the bundles of wood that you get at the corner store that is made for people, especially like me, and like kindling from Walmart. And I don't even care what people think. Like we had to have fire the next day, right? My friend wasn't around the next day. And so, anyways, then we got to pack. I hated it, but I loved it. And it was one of the most memorable, greatest trips I've ever taken with my kids. My son was like, "This is the greatest trip ever." We connected. We played like 12 games of Clue and had fun every time we did it. My daughter did not complain. I saw a side of my daughter that I've never seen before because she's always nagging at her brother. He's always nagging at her. But like when he was frustrated or sad, like she went out of her way to make sure that he was taken care of and he was okay. And she was the most helpful when we cleaned up because he's usually the helper, but he completely shut down when we were cleaning up because he didn't want to leave. Like we are 100%. And I told him we're just got to get better at it. We just have to get better at it. And we won't be fighting at the beginning of the trip and we won't be fighting at the end of the trip cleaning up. They dug a hole because they wanted to build an in-ground slide. So I literally had my kids sitting here digging for like 2 hours, just getting dirty and talking to each other. It was the best time.
Yeah.
Best time. The best time. My Jeep is a mess. Like Joey's stomach hurt from eating so many marshmallows, but we had the best time.
Camping and dinner. Camping and dinner is where you bond the most.
Yeah.
Because you're just stuck with each other. You're just stuck
We're just stuck there. I forgot like the most important stuff. I forgot socks. I forgot like tongs to cook with, so I just had to use like little forks to do it. So the next morning we went to Walmart because we were freezing when we woke up, and I needed stuff to start a fire. So we got in the Jeep and drove so that I could charge my phone because I didn't bring a charger or a Bluetooth a radio. I forgot music.
When was the last time you went camping?
God, we used to do a ladies camping trip, but that was like 10 of us women. Nothing was forgotten. Somebody had something.
Go easy on yourself. My God, you're beating the crap out of yourself right now for the first time you took your kids camping.
But my tip is like, dude, when the next day when I had the kindling and the fire, we had like 3 fires the next day, and I'm like, okay, I'm crushing it. Like the next day was awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. It's those, because the next morning when you woke up, that morning fire was pretty awesome too, huh? When you got that morning fire going.
Yes, we did one. Well, we didn't get to do one until like 11. Couldn't do a morning fire because I didn't have any more wood or kindling or anything. We had to go to Walmart and get it.
Did you guys stay one night or two?
2 nights.
So the second morning, the morning that you guys had to leave, did you get one going that morning?
No, but I should have.
But okay. Well, because you guys probably had to pack up and leave pretty quick that second morning, huh?
I packed up and left pretty quickly because I was ready to get out of there, and that really hurt Joey's feelings. So he wanted to dig his hole a little bit. So the next time, I think I'll do a fire in the morning and give myself that time and not rush out of there.
Yeah, it's tough, because camping's tough because you you hit that wall when you like you said, like with a hotel and even with an Airbnb, when you're putting stuff away and you're cleaning up, like you're putting stuff in the cupboard. Like when you're camping, you're outside. When you're cleaning up and you're putting stuff away, you're not putting stuff away for the dude that you got the Airbnb from. You're putting it away to take it home, which is different.
Now my whole bottom room is full of dirty camping stuff because I didn't want to do it yesterday. I have to wash all the blankets and all the clothes and make sure all the bugs are out and then load it back up in my garage. And I'm like, oh my God, this is the worst. Why do people do this?
Yeah.
I didn't even unpack from a trip to Jamaica for a week. You know what I mean? And that's just some clothes and a couple bathing suits I need to wash. And now I have to wash the whole room.
But it's really just it's a matter of like how much you're into it because like I've got it down now because I used to camp so much that I've got it down now that my camping is a blue tote on wheels, some tents, and a portable kitchen.
I know I need a portable kitchen. I know we'll get better at it.
Yeah.
We have to figure it out because we didn't have the paddleboard or the kayak this time. You know what I mean? So we have to figure that out. Or, Layla's inflatable paddleboard in the back, which is big. We didn't have any of that this time. So I really need to figure out what we actually needed and what we didn't.
Yeah, I think the last time we went to Fort Bragg in July of last year, and I remember my neighbor came up to me because I was setting everything up in the front yard just to make sure. Because what I'll do is I'll set my entire campsite up in the front yard, like kitchen and everything, and I'll set up mock chairs around a mock fire. Just like I'll go through, like I'll spend an hour being like, okay, and I woke up and I'm walking out of my tent. What am I doing? What do I have? And my neighbor Steve came out. He's like, dude, kicked out already? Because I had a tent. Now that I'm like, nah, you're 4 months too early, buddy. But yeah, I do. My dad always called it a shake-up. He said whenever he would go camping, he would always set up everything in the front yard and spend an hour acting like he was camping just to see, like he would walk out of his tent like he was waking up that morning and going through the motion of what he would be doing just to make sure he had everything.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, I know. And then I think I wrote you that there was like this rented Mercedes RV parked across from us. Like They didn't take anything out of it. And it even had automatic setups underneath it. Like they didn't even have to come out and post up themselves. And I was getting so mad. Like they're not camping, just getting pissed that they're warmer than me.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And they got television in there and not just DVDs and Netflix, but they could probably get a satellite dish up top.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's been, hey, when we were in Fort Bragg, we had a huge queen mattress, right? And the only people that could blow it up for us was the people that had the RVs. I had to go to the RV dwellers and be like, can I please borrow your power? I didn't bring a pump for this.
Oh my gosh. I know. Yeah.
So if you suck up to them enough and tell them how nice their RV is and how wonderful their setup looks and go through the whole, because once you tell them that, they'll be like, yeah, but you know how much it cost me? Or, well, I prefer to be out there with you, but she's got to be here with the camper. Like, if you suck up to them enough, they'll invite you over for dinner. They'll let you use their shower.
Like the real campers, though, they're more often, it's easier to borrow from them because they get it.
Yeah.
He was like, me and my buddies, we would have, because I didn't bring a hatchet. And he's like, you didn't bring a hatchet camping. Like, you brought huge pieces of wood. He's like, but if you go ask like one of these real campers out here, they'll have no problem letting you borrow it because everybody forgets something sometimes.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's a total community. And
then
there's different ones too. There's the real camper community. There's the RV community. There's the Jeep. I mean, the Jeep, you're in the Jeep community now. Yeah.
Oh my God, I saw these people that remind me so much of you, dude. They so they had, God, it was like a classic, one of those like station wagon, like classic Cadillacs or whatever, you know what I'm talking about? but not in like prime condition, like a little beat up. And there was these two couples in it with all of their stuff on the top. And then they bought like the walk-in campsite where they just park and then have to walk all their stuff down. Dude, I thought of you. I'm like, that would be Ian Riley wouldn't even care, man, with their little backpack tents and stuff. Dude, they were cool too. They reminded me of you.
Man, I want to go out there now. I want to go out to where you camp. That sounds like a lot of fun.
My spot, I would get my spot again. It was close enough to the bathroom. It was huge. I put all three of our tents on there. Like it was a big, and it was $22 for the night.
Yeah, I want to go out there. I'm ready. I'm ready to
And
do
then
that.
they had like $18 ones that I didn't think were going to be big enough for me and the kids. And those ones were facing the lake, and those would have been plenty big for me and the two kids.
Yeah, get a couple of those side by side.
Yeah.
Okay. So it sounds like maybe it's not that you don't like camping. This was just your first one, and so it sounds like you just didn't have everything, but maybe next time when it's a little more fluid.
I like camping. I don't like doing all the work by myself.
Yeah.
Like if my buddy wasn't there the first night, it would have been really rough.
Well, I'm glad he came out. I'm glad you guys got it all straightened out.
Oh man. But
I mean, they dug a slide, Madden.
And I taught him you make it cleaner than when we found it, and it was fun. We had fun.
My son's birthday is tomorrow, and so today I'm doing all of the birthday stuff for tomorrow.
What are you doing? What birthday stuff are you doing?
So I guess his mom took him to Santa Cruz this past weekend. So this coming weekend, when he can have friends over, I'm going to do like a little video game birthday party. It's just going to be him and a couple of friends, and I'm just going to set up with some video games and some ice cream and some pizza, and be like, "Have at it, kids."
Perfect.
But I think tomorrow for his actual birthday. So my son, being who he is, the same kid that wanted a typewriter, has asked for Lego Hero Factory sets. Lego Hero Factory was discontinued in 2014. Yeah.
Okay. So, and what are you going to do about it?
I got a Lego Hero Factory, and it'll be here sometime today, but it's not cheap. So, and I want to be like, dude, what's that?
He's hilarious.
He is. And the thing is that I want to be like, hey, man, that's an antique. Like, you're asking me to go antiquing for your birthday, but on that same token, like, he's got this love for all things old.
He gets it from you. You can't where do you think he gets that from?
So, like, I want to foster that. Like, I think it's so cool.
You should.
And then my youngest, you know what's really cool? One of my favorite things when we go to, like, I got a lot of stuff in my house for my dad, right? Like, my dad would be 100 years old in a decade, okay? That's how old my dad was. So my dad had stuff from his dad, which is now well over 100 years old. So my son will come in and be like, hey, what's that globe up there? I'll be like, oh, you want to hear something cool? That's a 112-year-old globe of what the Earth looked like 112 years ago. Blows his mind every time.
I love it. Yeah, you should absolutely feel that. I love that.
So it's cool. It's cool. We have a good time with it.
That's cool. All right. Well, happy birthday to him.
I'm glad camping went well. I'm glad camping went better than it started. I'm glad it finished better than it began.
The one thing is my friends all told me, they're like, you need light and you need warmth. Otherwise, like, everything else is going to suck, right? And I'm glad that I packed extra blankets, like went way overboard, because I was warm. And so I wasn't miserable.
What was your light situation like?
Plenty of light.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the moon, not the California moon, but the moon in California is pretty bright.
We have some bright nights this weekend.
Yeah, and I got those pop lamps that you suggested from Ace. I went to Ace Hardware and got the pop lamps and headlamps. So we each had a headlamp in the camp, and then that way, if we had to get up in the middle of the night, put the headlamps on.
Were those pop-up lamps super bright?
Those are so cool.
Right? And they just pop. They're like that big.
Yes, I'm glad I got those. Great suggestion.
Yeah, those are my favorite. Like, I traded in, because I personally, I know people love propane. I like propane too. I like it for its ease, but I'm cheap, and kerosene is cheaper. I prefer kerosene. I prefer all of that stuff. I've gotten rid of all of my kerosene lanterns for those pop-up lanterns.
Those pop-up ones, they only had 2 left at Ace, and I got them. And then I got the 3 headlamps, and it was perfect.
I want to see you with a headlamp on.
Okay, I'll bring it out. They're pretty cool.
The headlamps. Wear the stream tomorrow. Cool. Put on the stream tomorrow.
Okay, I will.
I'm excited for that.
All right, bye, you guys.
Bye, guys.